So
beauty of it, right?
Lex Locals in the books. I am here with Inga McGid of Keys for Kids, and we're standing in front of this beautiful piano. So that might give you a hint about what we're going to talk about today. So, what is it you do here in this business?
We have a music school.
Ah,
We have a music school which has its own unique program, which uses group classes for group piano classes for
interesting.
kids as young as 3.
Wow.
If you can see in the studio, we have keyboards and 2 chairs for each keyboard for parent and a child. So parents participate with kids together, and
Really?
they're learning for free. Good deal.
2 for 1. That is a
for
good
Buy
one.
one, get one free. I always tell them that. And it actually helps parents because by themselves, they don't always will come for lessons
Right.
for themselves, but they will always come with their kids.
Right.
So if they practice, they can actually get free classes and accomplish a lot. But going back to school, it's pretty much all-inclusive school. We have not just piano, we have all instruments. We have guitar, ukulele, violin, cello, drums, singing, and piano, of course, and any other instrument pretty much when kids need them. We have private lessons,
Okay.
and they typical private lessons for every age, every level, really suited and accommodating needs of every student as they would be desired. But group classes, that's our pride and joy, and that's our unique program. It is group classes when kids learn not just how to play piano, they learn music language in general.
Mm-hmm.
And that part is very often omitted in private lessons and in general education. They're learning how to read notes, they're learning how to play ensemble, they're learning rhythms, they're learning ear training so they can listen to a piece of music and pick it up by ear. They can also look at a piece of music and play it. They can analyze it. They are very successful by the end of the program, even in a jazz band, jazz ensemble, because they understand harmony, they understand underlying language of music, musical grammar. I've been teaching for decades at colleges, at universities, including UMass Lowell here, and I was very surprised how often students come, freshmen come, music majors, future music majors, coming first time, and they don't know anything about music besides playing their own instrument. They really cannot hear well because they were not trained this way, not that they're not capable, but just did not have opportunity to express that and to experience that. They don't know much about music theory, about music literature, about styles of music, about not much at all. And that is why this program is so dear to my heart, because kids are really blossoming here. And after these classes, or even during these classes, parallel, they can take private lessons on other instruments, because when they already know how to read music, when they already have good ear, when they already have understanding of form and musical harmonies and all of this rhythm, you can just pick it up any instrument. You just need to understand then technique of making sound on different instruments, but everything else is already set up. So
I want to go back to the group lesson because this is intriguing to me. I took piano my whole life, never in a group. But I'm sitting there with my 5-year-old, and next to us is another kid who's at the same level, whether he's 5 or 10 or whatever.
Well, it's the same age, same age, same level.
Are they playing at the same time?
Oh, yes.
Can you hear everyone?
Of course. I mean, they're not playing on maximum volume, they're playing like medium volume.
Okay.
It's like in a band, like in an orchestra.
And they're supposed to play together?
They play together. They play alone sometimes, but most of the time we play together.
Okay.
If you see at the keyboard, there are no music stands.
Right.
And the reason for that, so we can see the hands. So, of course, teacher has good ear. Well,
right.
you know,
yeah.
So you know when somebody is, when wrong note is coming up.
Right.
And if wrong note or wrong notes coming up, right away you look there and clearly you know which one out of 2 students sitting next to each other playing this wrong notes.
Right.
And you can, of course, correct. But it develops a lot of listening ability, which
Mm-hmm.
when you play solo, pianists are very lonely musicians because piano is pretty much orchestra in one instrument. So if you play piano, you don't need anybody else. You,
Right.
of course, it would be nice to
Right,
have
right.
band, but you really can be your own
Gotcha.
orchestra man,
That's
right?
interesting.
Or woman, whatever it is. So pianists are not required to be an ensemble. And very often pianists don't have this opportunity to experience ensemble. But why we're starting on the piano? Because piano is very easy to understand. All music theory, what we're talking about, piano geography, laying this music theory very clearly in front of your eyes. Playing piano, I mean, making sound, yes, it might not be correct sound right away, but creating sound on a piano, even little child can make. I mean, quality of the sound and technique, of course, it's coming along with instructions, but first sound is not a violin when you have to really take a long time before you even make this first sound, and it also might not be very pretty, but very often it's not. But on a piano, if piano is tuned, and we have electronic pianos in a group, they all play on tuned instruments, so they understand. For example, we're using solfege. So solfege, movable do. So do, re, mi, fa, sol. Do is always tonic of the key. So from that point, we can transpose right away. You're playing your Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star in the key of C, move your hand to key of G, and you're playing it in the key of G instantly if you understand that. On piano, it's easy. And then, of course, we go to more complicated stuff.
But in the group setting, do you find that then kids practice because they want to make sure they're not the ones screwing up the...
They practice. It's actually better for many of them because in a group setting, a little bit less pressure.
Right.
On each one,
right,
a little bit less pressure. And at the same time, it's very encouraging to see, oh my God, today I'm only one who did not practice every day. And what we do there, if it happens, I give them stamps at the end of the class.
Okay.
So if they practice, they get one stamp. If they practice every day, 2 stamps. If everybody in the class practice, they get a 3rd stamp for teamwork. So nobody wants this kind of party pooper who is messing up the 3rd stamp, right? So that's cute. This way, it's a positive reinforcement, which doesn't put too much pressure. Okay, you could not make it, you could not make it. It's okay.
Right.
But if you can, they feel very, very proud. We do a lot of games. Kids playing against parents in a game, flashcard racing game. Kids against parents. Of course, parents, most of the time, I encourage them to be forgiving and kind of give kids opportunity to hopefully to answer first. Sometimes we have very parents who are very competitive, but that makes it even more interesting. And then again, I tell them at the end, look, your parents won this time. Are you going to allow them to win next time? Maybe we need to practice these flashcards, these notes, note reading right away, different approach. It's very hard to do it in a private lesson. Also with the theory, of course, we all have many private students as well. And it's a very different ball game. It's if you want to perform for competitions, of course, you need to add private lessons to it. But in the private lessons, you can use lesson books and theory books and other books, which plenty existing. And it seems like, okay, just use these books and go with them. They write this page, it comes, it goes, nothing stays anyway on a long term. In a group class, we compose, we improvise, we harmonize, we analyze, we talk about music literature, we talk about composers. Right now, my 6-year-old group is playing Ode to Joy, which is, of course, right? And I told them, let's find out about research about Beethoven. Let's talk about Beethoven next week. Why did he write Ode to Joy? Why there are 2 choirs and 2 orchestras in one symphony, which never been done before? Why it's such a loud music? Why it's so much joy? And what was this? Who was this person? Why did he compose this kind of music? And we discuss it. And then when they play maybe another Beethoven piece later on, they already have better understanding who this person was. So it's not just a piano class. I don't want to think about those classes as piano classes. They are more music classes, with super amazing application on the piano, which gives you additional ability. You're playing piano, but you're also musically inclined. You become almost like a Renaissance man. You're trying to be a little bit broadening, maybe correctly, broadening horizons. We don't just push the keys and follow, okay, I see G, I decode G. We do a lot of flashcards. I mean, we have a bunch of flashcards. We have magnet board with notes on it. We do classes, by the way, in person and online at the same time.
Oh,
If you see this huge huge TV on the wall, we have students who are joining us on Zoom at the same time when students are here.
Oh, fun.
And something happened. Car broke down. There is no babysitter for a little baby at home. Somebody got sick. You know, you don't miss in class. Just join on Zoom and you're fine.
That's nice.
And we have cameras by my computer. We have camera above electronic piano when they can see my hands.
Okay.
If need to be, we put music on a screen to analyze it and mark it. And it feels like we're accomplishing a lot.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it. Sounds fun.
Also, for younger kids, I've seen many books for younger kids and many outcome of younger kids playing piano. It's very babyish. They put finger numbers. Okay, let's follow finger numbers. Or let's learn every good boy does fine or something like that. And then good boy does not do fine in the bass clef. So we have a problem there. We are doing it very different way. We don't baby them. There are all terms, all material explained on a with normal language, with normal terms, but it explained on their level. It explained very colorful with stories like middle C. It's a clown, sees a clown. We talk about that, who pretend to be a king, and he's in between high and low fences in the middle kingdom. He has crown on his nose because he's clowning around. He can move up and down. So there's a whole story, but it's a middle C.
Right.
How do they come to this doesn't matter.
Right.
But they know middle C. They understand it right away, even 4-year-olds, and move from that.
So what is your background?
Well, from my accent, my slight wonderful accent, I'm from Ukraine originally.
Okay.
My husband is from Latvia, from Riga. So I lived in Ukraine 21 years. Then I got married, moved to Latvia, to Riga. And a few years later, we moved to America. So I've been taking piano lessons since I was 4.
Okay.
And in Ukraine, it's not just you come once a week for 30-minute piano lesson. You come twice a week for 45-minute piano lesson. You come twice a week for ear training. You come one time for music theory, one time for music literature, and one time for ensemble.
Wow. Okay.
So it's pretty much, you have at least 2 classes every day, musical classes that you come after school that you attend.
Wow.
And you learn. And that's why maybe it's. Then I have my piano performance degree. I have a music theorist degree. I have my music education degree, and I have my piano pedagogy degree.
Wow. Okay.
So piano pedagogy I already took in America just because I was very interested. I already had my master's and everything, but I was very curious about that, and I was already teaching at universities, so it was fun for me to get a little bit more background on that.
Right.
And that all played into these books and these materials. By the way, Keys for Kids is my program.
Okay.
It's my program. It's my books. It's my books. Yes. Took
a
long time to develop, but I kind of put all my experience there. And because I have a lot of pedagogical experience, I started teaching when I was like 12. It was very funny. I was ruining a lot of kids at that time because I would just perform like some kind of concert, and then parents come, can you teach my child? And I said, of course. And then they come and say, you need to play your left hand quieter. Why don't you do that? But anyway, so yeah, it was interesting. So history, but I kind of familiar with Soviet, Russian Soviet pedagogy and music. Then of course Asian, because Suzuki, Yamaha, all these kind of different types. So that I'm familiar with Kodai system, which is European. Now with American system, because I specifically wanted to take this piano pedagogy class. I was so interested. I mean, degree, not a class, a degree.
Right.
2 years to finish this degree again, because of second master degree. But it was fun. Feel very blessed that I had the opportunity to do all of it. And now trying to pass it along. And we have a blast. It's a lot of fun. Parents are happy, kids are happy. Sometimes I can get grumpy and tell them you didn't practice, you didn't do your homework, you don't go home, you go to the corridor after your class because I have another one, and you finish it and then you go home. And they do it, they know that it needs to be done today. Sometimes they go to one of the private classrooms and finish practicing their part that need to be done. So yeah, so there is a little bit of Russian still, Soviet style. Yeah, but I mean, it's very little. I mean, after so many years, I mean, yeah, things got
my teacher was a nun, and she used to take a knitting needle and bang on the piano. I thought one day she's going to hit me in the hand, right?
My teacher was hitting me on the hand. Yeah. So you're lucky. You're lucky. Yeah, my teacher was hitting me on the head, but no, I mean, it's very different.
Yeah. No more hitting. No more hitting.
No, nobody gets hit. Nobody gets hit. No, nobody gets hit. But I mean, we joke. We listen to different music. We create something, and that is the most interesting thing. We create things, and we allow kids of very young age to really to reach out to real art, to reach out to understanding something that in general is not much opened up to kids of this age in America from what I see so far. And of course, and then they move forward and they go.
Right. Yeah. Well, the passion, you can feel it. So, all right. So just a personal question. What's your favorite piece?
I love Chopin.
Okay.
Of course. I mean, it's not but when I had my MRI recently, and they told me what music to put for you for 1 hour MRI, I chose Bach, and I was very happy I did that.
Okay.
You know, so it's hard to say.
You like the classics?
I like, of course, I'm classical trained,
right.
So of course classical. My child number 4, I have 4 of them. He plays jazz, and he is dying over it. He's amazing actually with that, and he's now in Columbia University, so he's graduating this year. But so I am now a lot more familiar with jazz because all this time he's been playing and he's been showing me a lot of things, a lot of licks and cool stuff. So I am feeling good about jazz too, but still classical music is, you can't really go wrong with that.
No, you can't. Oh. Well, thank you so much. Oh, one more thing. I hear you're having a camp this summer, Jonathan mentioned.
We do have camp.
Okay.
And for camp, it's a different format.
Okay.
But we teach them piano. We have piano classes every day.
Okay.
Group piano classes. We have ukulele classes for them every day. We have singing. We have little show at the end. Last year we did music through time, and we built a time machine, and we were kind of traveling to different times and then performing piece from different time, from different eras. So this time it might be composers, different instruments. So every season, every session is different. We have 3 sessions, and we take them outside. Nice. So it is fun, and we build a lot of things, a lot of music games, just a lot of art.
Nice.
A lot of excitement.
Well, thank you so much. This has been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Yes, appreciate your time.